Everybody, we're going to do another one of our fascinating tutorial videos on Adobe Premiere, some basic editing. And this time I'm going to work on the customizing your workspace, learning a little bit about subclips, and then finally practicing a regular delete, a cut, and a ripple delete. So very easy, but we're going to get started. So just like before, in your TV Studio folder, you'll find a folder called Financial Aid Night Basic Editing 2. This is footage that a couple of you took of Miss Ishii, and then some B-roll that I took for creating a video. Yes, you probably saw the video today, but you will get to do better than I did with it. So I want you to do as you did before. You're going to make your own folder on the desktop, and you want to move all this content over. All right, we're going to open up Adobe Premiere with a new project, and let's see if you remember how to do this. This one we're just going to call Finance and then Practice Number 2. If you cannot find the desktop, please see me. I have a trick for that. And real quick, so we're going to go make that folder for our project that's already on the desktop. And we want to leave time code and audio samples, and don't forget it's HDV, and we're clicking OK. All right, a little bit about workspaces. Across the top, you're going to see a variety here. We've got one called Assembly, which is usually what you're doing. You're assembling together some clips into sequences. There's one called Editing, and you'll see how all those panels change. There's color, effects, audio, graphics, libraries, and then you'll see there's some that I've created. Well, that's the whole point, because all of this, including all these panels and every panel that is here, can be customized. So I'm going to show you how to customize your workspace if you want to. So let's start with Assembly. So one thing I like to see is my source panel, and I have it here. And I have the program panel, which is what you would look at when you're using your main timeline, but I'd like these to be separate. I wouldn't want to click between them. So what's really cool is you can click on any panel, and as you drag it, you have the places that you can put it highlighted for you. So literally I can move any panel to anywhere I want, and I just move that one over here to source, and this is program here. So now I can see both side by side. If I really wanted to save this layout, I would come up here to Window and Workspaces, and honestly, I wouldn't save it to the ones that Premiere has already figured out for you, because those are there for a reason. They've done a lot of research on that. But I would save it as a new workspace and just give it a title like this would be my version of the assembly window, because I just kind of wanted to fix it. Let you know too, when you have dual screens, you can click and drag any of these panels to off the screen and onto a dual screen, so you can get this spread way out if you want to. All right, and we import our media. I'm going to import this video, and we're going to get started with a little organization. This is a very long video, and it's got a lot of clips in it. All right, let's move this over to the source panel, and we're going to just start watching and listening to our video. We use the keyboard shortcut I for our in point, and we scrub forward a little bit, and we're going to catch her on a pause there, and we're going to do an out point. Sure, I can just click that to the timeline and get going, or I can come up here to clip and make a subclip, and I might just want to call this one intro. Now what I've got is another clip over here in my media panel, my media browser. And what's so cool about this is I'm not actually duplicating. I'm not using any more hard drive space. It's just referencing the original. So I can go through this entire video, and I can create in and out points, and I can name them by doing a subclip or Control U. We got to get used to doing our keyboard shortcuts. So maybe this one, she's talking about who should go, and I'm going to click OK. So learning to do these kinds of subclips really does help. Longer one, and she's going to finish right there. All right, and then I'll just call this one Control U, ending. Another thing you want to organize over here on the left is always going to be your bins or your folders, whatever you want to call them. I just right click and I'm going to create a bin called A roll, and I might actually highlight just the 3 that I wanted for my A roll. So my original right here that wasn't named very well is a 3-minute clip, and then each of these are subclips that go inside a folder, making it easier to sort of keep it organized. Now, I'm going to double click, and I had a whole B roll folder ready to go. I can click Import Folder, and look what happens. I'm going to get the entire folder in there, just like the one that says A roll. I've got one that says B roll, and inside it are all those clips. They probably need to be named better, and yes, I can right click on them and rename them. This one happens to be Books on a Shelf, and that way it's easier for me to tell what I have. It's all organized here in the media browser. All right, I've jumped into another one of my workspaces that I like to use, my editing workspace, and I want to go through the difference between just regular cuts and ripple cuts. Okay, so I've kind of scrubbed through. That's what you do when you move the playhead and you listen. I've scrubbed through and I've found that I really want to start my video right here. So my tools for editing are located in Premiere, and they're little icons. Normally we use the razor tool to make a cut straight down the video and audio. So I'm going to select that razor tool, and I'm going to hover it over right there where the playhead is, and I'm going to click. You can see I made a nice little razor blade cut. And from here, I could go back to the select. I could click on the stuff I don't want, delete it, and then I could move my video over. That is a lot of extra effort. So I'm going to zip back, and we're going to do this a little bit faster. All right. First of all, I know that the keyboard shortcut C is actually going to grab me my razor blade. I'm going to click on there, and I am going to right click and choose Ripple Delete, which is going to move everything over. So let's do that. Ripple Delete will automatically move that clip over rather than me having to click and drag it over. I'm going to show you one even faster way. So we're going to go right back to where we were. I press C to get my razor blade. I click to cut, and then Shift Delete to Ripple Delete. That removes that segment, and it moves the rest of the sequence over on the timeline. We're going to do that same sequence in the middle of a clip. All right, I'm going to listen carefully to what Miss Ishii says, and I want to get rid of one line.
Angel Aid Night, we like to call it Paying for College Night, because some people don't like to think that they need aid. But when you
All right, I really don't like that some people don't like. So I am going to remove that if possible. So once again, I'm going to hit C. I'm going to cut, but then I also want to go get my second place to cut and be sure that what you're getting rid of is selected. And then I can either do Shift Delete, and it scrunches those two clips together. Probably wasn't the prettiest clip, but you know what? She didn't move all that much, so you hardly see it. All right, so that is a very simple cut. Then I showed you what a Ripple Delete will do and helping you organize your workspace and all of your clips in the media bin.